Good evening and welcome back to the Coolest Cricket Ground. Let me, on behalf of the Cool and Smooth organization, apologize for the slight delay and technical difficulties that we'd have had here today, but we've sorted that out and we are back up and running. Just want to thank all of the folks who made it possible, including Mark Chaz, Marlon, Audwin, Nickel, all of the guys right there, Kerry Wright. Thanks very much. We're back with the action. Just to let you know that Jennings, they reach 140 for 5 in their 12 overs, and top scoring for Jennings during their masterful innings of 12 overs was George Munsey with 55 off 17 balls, 18 minutes at the crease, 5 fours and 5 I-net maximums. In fact, in the entire innings for Jennings Tigers, they hit 10 I-net maximums and they only had 7 boundaries. Orlando Peters 28, Adrian Barron 8, Paul Miller run out for 1, Jadesha Martin 22, Kyle KB 1, and Morton Brown 7. In the meantime, in the chase so far, Rising Sun Spartans, they've just lost the wicket of GM Benjamin. They are 9 for 1 and in the first over, and the second over is just about now to start. And we have a situation here where this is going to be an exciting time here for the Rising Sun Spartans. So just glad to be back up and giving you live ball by ball, just letting you know that the finals will be coming up later, and that's going to be a big one, playing for 22,000 EC dollars. 22,000 EC dollars. That's going to be a big one, and so you got to be able to make sure that you witness in terms of what's going to be happening. So we have the number 7 here for Jennings Tigers, who's getting himself organized. And it looks like it is going to be Martin. So Martin will be starting the second over for the Jennings Tigers. He's going to come in out to bowl to Junior Henry. Junior Henry with that bottom hand, flicking this one away into the leg side area. And we get a couple of runs. So Junior Henry is off and running very quickly. We see Shane Burton has come out for the Jennings, not for the Jennings Tigers, for the Rising Sun Spartans. And this is going to be really a big axe, and he will have to certainly play a blinder here. Shane Burton is capable. Don't know if he's in that sort of form of mind to be able to get that going. Junior Henry is having a go at this one, flick this one inside out over the middle wicket area down to the boundary for 4. So Junior Henry, given the license to play shots, score quickly goes up to 15 for 1. 15 for 1. And Burton, who's on north, Henry is on the go here. Be ready, looking to, as you would say, normally in Palang's terms, get onto your bike. Martin into bowl to Henry, now to bowl to Junior Henry's driving down the ground straight for, it's gone, 1 bounce for 4. So Martin pitching up, almost a gentle, friendly half volley. And Junior Henry just hitting through the line of the delivery, quickly goes up to 13, and the score goes up to 19 for 1. 19 for 1. Action taking place right here in the 3rd and 4th place playoff game. Orlando Peters having some discussions here, the captain, with Martin. It's maybe kind of confused in terms of the line and length that he's been bowling. 19 for 1. This is the 3rd and 4th place playoff game. Now we see a change. Orlando Peters, who looks like he's carrying a small injury. Here is Henry pulling this one. Beautiful shot through square leg for 4. Short delivery and punish. No pace, and the score in the meantime goes up to 23 for 1, 17 to Henry. I say good evening to Nickel.
Yeah, thank you very much, Vernon. Cracking game of cricket thus far. I mean, to see the carnage caused by George Munsey, the Jennings Tigers, still felt after that start 80 and 4 overs, Vernon. I felt they fell short of that. Maybe 150, 160 even that they could have gotten. But nonetheless, it is a total on the board in a crucial game. But the Spartans, this opening pair has been efficient for them throughout the tournament.
Henry would have got a half century in the last game there. He's driving again, but can't beat the fielder cover. There's a little hesitation. Burton still ball watching in the end. Don't know if you remember, Nickel. I think you were on with me a couple of days ago, and I was indicating to you, trying to say to you that was one of the things which I found, that in this tournament, the batters who have got starts have not batted deep enough, and so you find that when you lose wickets, there's a fall away. If you even look at Liberta, you would realize, you had good score from Yuri Smith, and then everybody fell away close to the end. Here's Junior Henry driving down the ground for 4. That's an aggressive shot, and he's got some chatter to go with it. That's a lovely shot right there. Nickel, that's a beauty. Score goes up to 27 for 1.
Yeah, very bold line as well from Martin, because you went full trying to execute that Yorker, misses length, just a half volley on middle and leg, and mid on up in the circle because of this power play. Easy pickings for Henry. I just love the flair that Junior Henry plays his cricket with. I think he's been single-handedly, carrying this Spartans batting lineup pretty much throughout this tournament. When they've done well with the bat in hand, it's mainly been because of him. Gian Benjamin's done well as well, but he's taken more of a back seat. So, new captain today in Benjamin. Interesting to see how they go about chasing this 140. They're already above the rate, but of course this is the power play overs.
Yeah, so Shane Burton, who has really looked below par in this competition, will wait for Brown. Arms pumping, he comes in now to bowl to Burton. Burton is just delicately just playing that pass, the backward point fielder, third man fielder down to the boundary for 4, just using the pace, wide delivery, and put away nicely for a boundary. The score in the meantime goes up to 31 for 1. Burton is off the mark with a boundary.
Yeah, too slow on that occasion. Can't bowl with that much width, no protection behind square on the offside. So all he had to do was execute that gap, big wide gap between point and that short third man that they've got. He did it to perfection. First runs for him.
Kenroy Brown, and I look at him, he sort of reminds me of a Colin Cookie Joseph, who would have passed away I think last year. Colin Cookie Joseph would have played for Antigua and Barbuda. In fact, played for the West Indies on the 19 too. He was a good fast bowler, played in South Africa. Wrong the wicket, arms pumping. He comes in now to bowl to Burton. Burton is hitting this one in the air to almost Munson looking to pull off a miraculous catch, but it fell safe in the end. And Burton picking up 2 runs, and the score in the meantime goes up to 33 for 1. Just want to say thanks. The coverage is made possible by Community Sports Network, CSN, a subsidiary of the Parish League organization. And you can also view it on CTV Channel 8 and all of the Cool and Smooth social media pages, YouTube, you name it. Brown from the CIUN in out to Burton. Burton is driving down the ground but can't get a single. Wow, this is interesting, Nickel. He doesn't want a single.
I don't think the run was on there, Vernon. You thought he could get to the other end?
I think it went to the left of Muncie, so that's why I was saying that the single was on if he wanted it.
He timed it so well, though. He went to hit Muncie in a flash. I mean, at this stage, given the fact that Burton has just come in new to the crease, do you really need to take that risk?
Well, we'll wait and see. 33 for 1. I think he wants to feel that he wants to get boundaries. He wants to get this in boundaries. Brown will have other ideas. Kenroy Brown is in out to bowl to Burton. Burton is pulling this one away. That's what he's looking for, Nickel. But he won't get a boundary here. He'll get a couple of runs nicely. And the score goes up to 35 for 1. Just want to be able to, on behalf of the Cool and Smooth organization, say thanks to the sponsors who have made this possible so far. Pineapple Beach Club. Nickel, you have to tell me how you're enjoying your stay there. Supreme Security, Kennedy's Club Limited, Stonewall Reloaded, Antigua and Barbuda Cricket Association, Images Design, Signs and Impressions, Antigua and Barbuda Tourism Authority, St. John's Development Corporation, Antigua and Barbuda Port Authority, Hadid Motors, and we break for Kenroy Brown. Arms pumping around the wicket. Look, strange to be bowling to the left-hander. Pitched up, and that was a slow off-cutter. And Shane Burton really didn't look at that one, Nickel.
Yeah, he's gotten the variations right towards the end of this over. You saw that first delivery went pace off, just too slow and too much width on offer. It was easy for Burton to get a boundary and get off the mark, but now much straighter in terms of that line, and obviously much more difficult to hit. He's bowling to his field as well because he's outside the off stump. He's got 2 in the offside, the deep cover, and the long off.
35 for 1. Kenroy Brown mixing up his deliveries. Pace off, especially to Burton. Comes in out the bowl to Burton. Slow one. Burton is driving, hitting this one wide. It's gone all the way for Inet Maximum. That's a big one. And you know, normally in the days of, I don't know if you had a chance, Nickel, of looking at Sanford and Sons. That's a big one, baby. 41 for 1.
No, I haven't seen that, Vernon. I've been lit before my time, but I can tell you about that strike. Straight as an arrow. Never an easy shot to play right back behind the bowler. And not only did he hit that, he hit that twice. The power and the distance it traveled. So, great way to end the over. Of Brown, who had a really economical first where he picked up that wicket.
He's now 1 for 21, and it's just amazing how crude this game can be when you look at the action. So 41 for 1, exciting start here in terms of this all-important game. Junior Henry has called for his helmet, and Jennings Tigers, they will start now with Paul Miller, who is really not turned up at this competition. Got ran out today. Little lackadaisical there. There was no urgency at all from him. The umpires are having a discussion over the ball.
Yeah, just if we draw the comparison, Vernon, between the two innings, this is the magnitude of that innings from George Munsey. After 4 overs, there were 80 inside this power play, and you see the shots, the wide array of power that we've seen on display from the Spartans, and still they're only 41. That's almost half the runs. Still have another over of this power play to go, but it shows you how different these two innings have gone, and yet still the current run rate exceeds the required. What does that tell you? That I think they just fell short of the runs in terms of in the last 5 overs, over 7 to 12, where they had the momentum going after the wicket of Munsey and Orlando Peters, but no one was really able to take the game by the scruff of its neck and carry on scoring that close to 20 that they did inside that first power play.
Love that analysis there, Nickel. Here comes Paul Miller around the wicket now to bowl to Junior Henry. Henry's almost for a moment thought that he was bowled. He's bowled. But the moment has been so quiet. He's upset with himself. Trying to hit across the line of the delivery there, Nickel. Poor shot.
Well, it did keep a bit low. We don't have the luxury of seeing a replay of that, but I think it just stayed a bit low, and that's what you get from spinners who bowl with a lot less pace on the ball. Some just tend to creep. We saw it from Noshas Kenjiga yesterday. Much slower, one of the slower spinners of this tournament. And Miller, who has pushed some through, I think good variation on that occasion. And that's a crucial wicket given how Henry's batted in the last game, but in this entire tournament.
So he's gone for 21. It now brings out Shadrach Descartes. So 2 left-handers. And I think this will be a test here now for young Paul Miller, picking up the second wicket for Jennings Tigers. So it's now 41 for 2, 41 for 2. The reason why that caught me also too, Nickel, is that the body language from Jennings Tigers as if like nothing really happened.
Yeah, it may have been some disappointment. Probably would have wanted that wicket a bit earlier. But nonetheless, they've got their man.
I thought you were talking about the disappointment from last night, losing by 1 run.
Well, that was some game of cricket. But Miller seemed that he brushed it off at the toss. He said, cricket is a game of glorious uncertainty.
Oh, he said that to you, Nickel?
He said that.
Oh, okay. It really is. I can't believe he told you that, Nickel.
It's on video.
Can't believe that he would have told you that. But anyhow, 41 for 2. We now see Burton, Nickel, who's on 14, and Descartes, who's just come out. He's going to face the delivery from Miller. That is hoist. That's gone for Inet Maximum. It's a long hop and put away.
Yeah, I question though this from Miller because he just got a wicket with a much slower delivery, which kept this one much faster, much shorter, and just using the pace. It's so much easier to hit these spinners when there's pace on. Lack of execution on the part of the captain.
47 for 2. This is what I was talking about, Nickel, in terms of the skill set. We'll get back to that. Miller in out the bowl to Descartes. Descartes driving ferociously. Parried off. The fielder in cover. They'll only get 1 run. Looking for execution and power here. And everybody wants to get a maximum. But everybody won't be able to get a maximum.
Yeah, even that one was blasted to extra cover. Did really well to prevent another boundary from happening there.
Miller in now to bowl to Shane Burton, who's driving straight down the ground for 4.
Yeah.
50 up for Rising Sun Spartan, and that's a good, bold, positive shot from Shane Burton. Good cricket shot.
It didn't quite time it, but because he's got that mid-off up in the circle, only 2 allowed outside that 30-yard ring, he was able to just get it straight enough past that fielder and get a boundary.
And this is only the 4th over. Here is Burton giving himself some room and cracking that down to the 3rd-man boundary. Will it have the legs to go? It does now. Hits the rope now. 4 more to Shane Burton. The score shots up to 56 for 2. Game on here. Game on.
And you look at this field, Vernon, he's got the long on, but he's also got deep cover. I just wonder what is the actual plan, because I can't really figure out or determine the length that he wants to bowl. We've seen pretty much all. He got a wicket with a good length delivery, then went short, then went full. Now he's going wide outside the off stump.
Miller in now to bowl to Burton. Burton is back and cracking that. Oh, poor feeling there by Jaime Africa. A backward point. You have to stop that. Muncy comes off the boundary and lobs a return into the wicketkeeper Kyle KB. 4 was completed, and the score is 57 for 2. And Miller has been expensive, even though he has picked up the wicket. His first over cost 16.
I think that last final delivery there was where he wants to operate. You've got the deep cover in place, a pat offside field. You can afford to be on a good length, a bit slower, see if the ball will grip at the surface, and force the batters to do something extraordinary to score. Don't give them the freeness of being able to pull with just the one fielder out on the leg side boundary, because we have seen batters across the tournament pick out that boundary on the west side with ease, Vernon.
You're so right, Nickel. 57 for 2, but the man who picked up a couple of wickets. The power play is over now. Morton Brown, he comes into the conversation. Let's find out what's going to be happening. I see the manager for the Jennings Tigers walking around her dressing room to look over. I don't know if she's praying for rain, but we'll find out sooner rather than later. Mary Richards, did you find the goat? You and Jack still looking for the goat. It's coming from Bolans. Morton Brown, what are they looking for?
A question for you though, Vernon. I mean, as someone, I would call you a stalwart of Antiguan local cricket. Are we going to get a big turnout for this final tonight?
Well, the Hawks are going to be coming out, so you don't need to worry about that. Here is a big claw. This is what we're talking about, Nickel. You can't take the catch, so the first thing you've got to be thinking about is to be saving the boundary. Lame effort there in the field there from Paul Miller. Can't give away 4 runs. That's supposed to be at least even saving 3 runs. 61 for 2. Morton Brown, he's bemused with that. Here is Miller Burton again falling short again, but a bigger effort this time. And for some strange reason, I'm confused, Nicole, as to why Burton is trying to still try to see if he can tug the ball rather than hitting the ball straight.
Well, I applaud the captain Miller for his bravery. Just the ball before almost was struck because it didn't carry. This time, though, body on the line yet again, and unfortunately just falls short. But I like the intent from the captain, setting an example for the rest of his team. 62
for 2. Morton Brown is going to move in now to bowl to Descati, who's 70. He's in now to bowl to Descati. Descati's driving down the ground to get a single. And this is good, sensible cricket, because he realized that Burton is the man who is pushing the envelope here. They're going to be tested here tonight, Jennings Tigers. When you lose by 1 run, you're figuring out how can you win the game. Morton Brown, he comes in now to bowl to Burton. Burton is almost yorking himself. He would have been advised to be able to just meet that on the full. He's looking to try to give himself some room. Almost nearly got bowled. Morton Brown in now to bowl to Burton. Burton is looking having a heave at that one. Don't think he got anything onto that. It might be buys. Let's wait and see what's going to be happening. Did he get a nick onto that? Wow. So it means that Kyle KB maybe came up a little bit too early, but it would have been a difficult catch for him. 64 for 2. Got to get as close as possible if you want to go for an execution. Shane Burton, Descati gets a delivery. He's looking to pull his one away again. Cricket is a cool game, especially the white one. A little miss up there by Martin, and they get 2 runs in the end. Buys now signal 66 for 2.
Vernon, just before I end my stint, I asked you about that game tonight, the turnout.
The crowd?
I
The
heard,
Blackhawks will be coming.
and I've heard that they're very noisy when it comes to finals. So, as someone new to Antiguan local cricket,
You need to go in the crowd.
I'll see if the time can allow me to,
you
get over there.
You don't worry. Make sure you get in there, right? Because the Hawks, they will be rolling tonight. Come on, Mally Richards. Since they haven't found the goat for you, you might as well come and continue. 66 for 2. I think I'm going to have to go and order a goat for you. You and Jack. 66 for 2. What do you think?
Low blood sugar.
Low blood sugar? Yeah. You want an energy bar? I'm going to get you an energy bar. I'm going to get you an energy bar. Don't worry. I've come loaded, so I've got to look after Mali. I've got to make sure I've come loaded. So I've got to make sure that I look after my co-pilot. I walked to the energy bar for him. Here's an energy bar, my brother. You get yourself organized, man. I got to make sure I look after you in a very big way. Here is
Miller again.
Yeah. We understand from Nickel that he's the captain of the team tonight. 66 for 2.
Well, in this situation here, Vernon, I think Shane Burton, he has to look to match the innings that we saw from George Munsey if the Spartans are going to get up and win this game.
He's broke his bat.
Yeah, he's just... Hopefully he finds the middle on this one. He's been doing pretty well, though, thus far, getting up to 29, scoring at a pretty good rate. They can't afford to let the run rate slip, though. They're going at 12.77 at this point in time. Need to boost it.
Miller around the wicket, the ball to Burton. Burton, go on! 6 more! What iron at 6! So as Mally Richards said, Burton has to play a blinder. 72 for 2.
Fantastic shot there by Shane Burton. Hoisted over that mid-wicket boundary. Like pace on the ball again from Paul Miller. Just not having the right field set or bowling to his field at this point in time.
Here is Burton driving inside out. 6 more. Another iron at 6. It's raining in 6s here. Burton goes to 41 and the score goes to 78.
And is he going to match George Munsey? He's going to have to keep finding the boundaries or sixes here, Shane Burton. We saw Munsey, his 55 came off, 17 deliveries or so?
17 deliveries, Mally. 5 fours and 5
it's all on
maximums.
Shane Burton here, to be honest.
Here comes Miller as he comes in now to bowl to Burton, and Burton is driving again in the air. Will somebody take this one? No, it falls safely. Brown can't stop it, can't get to it, and he gets 1 run. He just has to be able to keep that shape for a little longer, Mally. 79 for 2. He goes to 42. He can't get carried away. In fact, he has to batter all 12 overs if Rising Sun Spartan is to win this game. Here is a powerful shot here by Descartes for 4. Driven to cover. That's a lovely shot.
I think what we've seen as well, though we've had that the rain here today, the wicket has been pretty good. It's been coming on to the bat nicely for the batters, just having to play through the line.
And I think the outfielders got quicker.
Well, tells you all about the drainage here at Coolidge, isn't it?
83 for 2. One has to give some credit to Sir Andy Roberts, who was part of the initial preparation of this magnificent ground here, which is now the home of Cricket West Indies, the Coolidge Cricket Ground. Miller in for what we would call an onslaught here by the Rising Sun batters. Looks like he's going to get a wicket here. Who's going to take this one? Is there communication? No, he drops it. I thought Munson should have come in and got that, Mally. You tell me. You tell me that.
I mean, we've seen quite a few of these high catches go down in this tournament, but on that occasion, it's always easier for the player coming in rather than going back and looking to catch that over the shoulder. I think it was a catch really for George Munsey. 85
for 2 at the end of over number 5, Mally. It's all happening here. Fireworks on the go. Burton is 42.
Yeah, and the required rate is only 9.33, and they're going at 14.17. So at this stage, if these two could bat for another 2 or 3 overs, game could get away from Jennings here.
Yeah, somebody's in trouble. But I think now the mindset of Burton. Burton has to look up at the scorecard and realize, I'm 42. there is approximately enough balls for me, and I have to bat as deep as possible to make this happen if Rising Sun is going to win this game.
What we're seeing as well is just the Jennings Tigers just being hampered a little bit with their bowling options.
Here is Burton going. 6 more, another line at 6. Over wide, long on. Burton on the go here, he's 48.
Pretty similar to Muncie, that's his area. You know, a straight long on to a wide long on, that natural arc, that natural swing for the left-hander. And Shane Burton here, 48 now, just 2 away from his half century.
91 for 2. Morton Brown has not been allowed to settle here. Burton has pounced on him. Morton Brown into Burton. Burton is hitting this one in the air.
Oh, that's 6.
No, I don't think he will have that legs. He's out caught for 48.
Oh,
That is a poor shot by Shane Burton. You have to use your mindset. You got to be this game awareness. 91 for 2, and you have got an excellent start like that. You have to take it as deep as possible, Mally Richards.
I mean, to be perfectly honest with you, Vern, I think you've got to keep going. You know, I mean, he's already in full cry, full song. We've seen some fantastic stroke play from him. I think he's just got to keep going, and on that occasion, just not quite executing as we had seen previously.
But anyhow, a blinder nonetheless. 48 in quick time. At least he has given Rising Sun Spartans some hope. Shaquan Hewlett steps out. I don't know if he'll have the same momentum because he's going to have to take some time to start.
And that's what we saw in that first innings as well from the Tigers. When they lost that wicket of George Muncie, that scoring rate really dipped. Will it be the same here? We know Shaquan Hewlett is a guy who scores at a pretty good rate, especially in T20 cricket. Will he be able to continue the fabulous work that we've seen from Shane Burton?
But you can't forget that Shadrach Descartes has looked well tonight.
He has as well.
The best he has looked in this tournament so far.
Yep. So and I mean, sometimes in these games where you really only have one option but to go hard, it tends to favour certain players. I think Descartes is one of them, where he doesn't have to think too much.
91 for 3 on the right side of us, Mally. We see John Archibald and the Caribbean Union Bethesda Golden Eagles team having a chit-chat. And Archibald coming up against the Test player, Kenneth Benjamin, and Wilden Cornwall tonight. Who will come out trumps tonight? Who will win that $22,000? The final coming up next.
Looking forward to that one.
Oh, it's going to be a blinder. 91 for 3. Morton Brown can't wait to get into bowl to Shaquan Hewlett. Into bowl to him. Hewlett is back and hitting this one in the air. He's going caught. First ball, Doc. Softest missile, as Mally described it. He's looking at his left glove. And in fact, he's having a chatter with Morton Brown. He's upset because Morton Brown has had a few choice words to say to Shaquan Hewlett. He goes for naught.
It looks like Orlando and Shaquan Hewlett actually exchanging a few words there. No love lost between the former teammates of Bolands there, Shaquan and Orlando. But on that occasion, slow delivery from Morton Brown. Pace off the ball outside that off stump, and Shaquan Hewlett not really timing it. Limp, really. Pretty soft. The way it just glided to the fielder at point. Easy catch.
You remember you made a point, right? And you were talking about all of these teams got good starts, and then all of a sudden we just see wickets falling in clutters. We look like we're seeing the same trend here again tonight.
Yeah, I mean, I think what we've seen is the lack of depth at times throughout this tournament. A lot of the batting lineups are pretty top heavy from what we've seen, and if the top batters don't really get off to a good start, it makes for hard work throughout that innings. But here both teams have actually gotten off to fantastic starts.
So Descartes is still there. He's 14, and once he's there, I know that Wayne Hewlett will feel that he can get over the line. Will they have enough? They need 141 for victory. Descartes is Morton Brown is a sort of funny bowler. He doesn't really come from high above, Mally, so he sort of tricks you now and again. Descartes now rehearsing and saying, listen.
He's done a fantastic job in this situation as well.
He certainly has. Brown. 91 for 4. He's in now to bowl to down the onside. Calvin Thomas will come across and signal a wide. In the meantime, the score goes up to 92 for 4. 2 for 14 So far, Morton Brown, he's done the job. Comes in now to bowl like a round arm, and it is so slow that it took a long time to get to Descartes that he was winding up as if he was winding a clock and had to wait for it. In the meantime, the score goes to 93 for 4, and Descartes goes to 15.
He did have that time though to really find that gap. It was that slow. Just didn't really execute it the way he wanted, Descartes. But 1 run. But Morton Brown, fantastic job, like he said. 1.5 overs, just the 15 runs in the stage of this game, in the circumstances in this game. He's definitely come to the party.
Andre Edwards is
And he's
leg
picked up
before he's
another
out,
one,
leg
but-
before. Morton Brown strikes again.
It's a fantastic spell so far.
There was no need for that shot there from Andre Edwards. First ball he faced, and he was looking to the hills, missed a straight ball completely, and like we were talking about the pace of Morton Brown bowling, he missed it. Bang on target, and Calvin Thomas raised the index finger. The 5th wicket goes down for Rising Sun Spartans. They're in trouble here, chasing 141 for victory.
And it's even something that we saw from Shane Burton, even in his innings, when looking to really find that power, just losing that shape and that head going up in the air, not watching the ball all the way. And that occasion, Edwards falling victim to that slow straight one from Morton Brown. 3 wickets now for Morton Brown, actually. 15 runs, 2 overs. We see the required run rate now at 9.60. So in the context of this match, actually, Morton Brown, fantastic performance, Vern.
Well, when you look at Shane Burton's 48, it came off 19 deliveries, 25 minutes at the crease, 4 INET maximums and 4 boundaries. I don't care what you tell me, Mally Richards. The shot he played, it really was not on. I know you say he had to be going.
I think it was. We disagree. It was on. He just didn't execute it, you know.
I'm just saying, Mally, just hit it down the ground and you'll be there. Because the score, he's just opened the floodgates now for everything to happen.
But I think it's something you actually see. I mean, not comparing it to like...
It's cricket.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter. It's cricket.
Not comparing it to like the IPL or anything, but it's something that it's a trend that you see throughout the white ball game, T20 in particular. Batters just tend to go hard throughout, you know. They're better off, or they feel more comfortable being bowled out for 80 or 90 going hard, as opposed to scratching to 120 or 130.
But you're a batsman, Nally. When you're in that sort of zone, what happens? Talk to me. Because I know it's a zone.
No, I think it's always, you always try to play the match situation.
Okay.
You know, you always...
You should.
You always have that in mind. It's whatever the game requires.
So a new bowler here for Jennings, tapping. He comes in now to bowl to Descartes. Descartes driving inside out, over cover, down to the boundary for 4. Who's coming around there? Jaime Africa, it looks like. And he can't get there. And a boundary to Descartes. He's a dangerous guy. 97 for 5. He goes to 19. Shadrach Descartes.
And we have seen some good cricket shots, you know, here today as well. Not just swiping per se. Fantastic cricket shots on that occasion, presented with width outside the off stump, and Descartes loving that as a left-hander, putting that away.
Beautiful. Here is Descartes clipping this one in the air. Has it gone? Yes, another INET massive into the PIC Insurance Liberta Blackhawks area. 6 runs to Descartes. He quickly goes up to 25. 100 comes up for Rising Sun Spartan. They're 103 for 5.
They're actually racing to this total. The only thing that's not in their favour, they've lost those 5 wickets. I think from a Jennings perspective, they'll be hoping here to remove a Descartes, because if they could do so, they'd be right back in this game, Vern.
Nicholas Tappin. He's been expensive so far. First 2 overs cost 10 deliveries. Here is good smart cricket here by Descartes, just playing it on the offside and picking up an easy single.
Good cricket there from Descartes, like you say. That's what you like to see, isn't it? But then, I mean, I was reading an article the other day from a Liam Livingston, and from his perspective, there's no place for a block in T20 cricket. Yeah,
He's a crazy guy.
And where he bats as well, you know, he generally just looks to finish his games. Yeah, I mean,
he's in the form of his life.
Top of his game at this point in time.
He's in the form of his life.
I think batting in the top 3 is ideally the best positions to bat
In T20.
T20 cricket for sure. You make use of the power play, field restrictions, hard new ball.
Tapping into bowl to Tasila Allen. He's back on the steering desk, getting an easy single. And then Jennings might say we don't need to worry about that. Even we look at even David Warner in the IPL, and we're talking cricket. He himself is, but there've been some new bright stars, Mali, that have come through so far in the IPL.
Yep.
The West Indians holding their own. Shimron Hetmeyer, Nicholas Prohan, who is now the new white ball captain for the West Indies team.
The fast bowler actually is it Umran Malik?
Yeah, he's bowling with good pace, man. Descartes gets another full toss driven down to long on. Who's coming around there? It looks like it's Alonda Peters. No, it's Paul Miller, and they get 2 runs.
That should never be 2 runs there, in my opinion. It was hit with good power as well by Descartes down to the long on fielder. I don't think they should get 2 runs there. He'd be very disappointed with that, Paul Miller.
107 for 5. Descartes on the go here. He's 28. This is going to be an exciting finish. Hope we can find Tantimal. Here is Descartes clipping this over. Mid wicket for 6. Another high net maximum. He's timing the ball beautifully here. Shadrach Descartes this evening on the lights of the Coolidge Cricket Ground. End of another over. 113 for 5.
And he just picked up where Shane Burton's left off. We were wondering who's going to be that player to pick up that mantle, and it's been Descartes thus far. As we see the required run rate just tumbling down. It's now 7 runs and over for this Rising Sun Spartans team.
Well, I didn't work with any Vitamals tonight, Mali, so I won't bet you. But if Terry was on, I certainly would be betting Terry.
What's the bet? Let's hear. What's he hoping for?
113 for 5. How many overs is gone, Mali? Let's find out.
Are you seeing a super over?
We just you started the conversation, Mali.
I'm just assuming.
It's just pretty interesting. It's pretty interesting conversation. The Scott is 34, 13 balls, 23 minutes, 2 fours and 3 I-net maximums. Let's see what's going to be happening here with Morton Brown. He's into bowl to Allen. Allen misses a drifter. He's got to get back on the ball, Mali. Right now, he just needs to get a single.
And I think Jennings also will be hoping to bowl the majority of these deliveries.
To Allen?
To Allen, definitely. The way Descartes been destructive here today. They've also got to show some tactical awareness in order to starve him of the strike.
Morton Brown has just come down and said to Allen, just get me a single. And he has done that. And the score goes up to 114 for 6. Captain Mali Richards, in a situation like this, what happens? How do you get Descartes off strike?
Well, the field has to be set accordingly, but not only that, the bowler has to bowl to the set field. So on this occasion, you'd want him playing through the offside to the longer side of the field down to the athletic club area. It's on that side where he can't quite hurt you as much as the shorter side on the leg side.
Morton Brown in out the bowl to the man himself, just like you said, out to the sweeper. And you only able to get 1 run. Young Matthew Miller, 13-year-old on the boundary. He's got a bright future, Mali Richards.
Yeah, for sure. And also the length that Morton Brown's bowled to Descartes on that delivery, not really presenting an opportunity for him to get under that delivery. Pretty good stuff here from him. He's really put his hand up here under immense pressure. Certainly,
Mali. I like the analysis. That's why I asked you. I know you're a good captain. You know what I mean? I wanted to get your insight. Morton Brown comes into bowl to Allen. Allen is hitting this one in the air. He's gone for I-net 6 too. Wow. So it's raining in 6s here, Mali.
And that's the thing. I think he's just probably just gone to the slow deliveries a little too often. You still got to try and mix it up, try and keep these batters off balance. And Allen on that occasion just presented with a slow floater there from Morton Brown.
121 for 5. He pulled that one out of the hat to Tasila Allen. He gets another slow one again. He's driving again in the air down to Muncie, but he'll only get 1 run. And he misfields.
Yep.
Guilty of taking his eyes off the ball there, George. Big George.
Lackadaisical there from Big George.
Lack
Muncie.
of intensity there.
Not quite getting down early enough. He's been struggling with a few injuries in this tournament. It's
He
good
did.
to
He
see
had,
him
he,
still
had,
out there.
he had a side strain also in the first game. 123 for 5. This is a good contest. Here's Morton Brown down the onside. Kyle KB not doing himself any justice. This is racing away down to the fine leg boundary. If they want, they can come back for 3. They're coming back for 3 runs. This is good run in here indeed by Allen and Descarte.
Jedediah Martin on that occasion just guilty of holding that ball a little too long, not getting it into the keeper as quickly as he could actually, and the Spartan batters sneaking back through for an extra run.
127 for 5. It's all happening here at the Coolidge Cricket Ground. The 3rd and 4th place build up for the grand finale. $22,000.
Tigers need a wicket here. Absolutely need a wicket like Antigua needs water at this stage.
127 for 5. The crowd is coming in. They're coming in their numbers. Here is Descarte driving beautifully, elegantly out to Orlando Peters, who is injured, and they sneak 2 runs. In fact, they want to come back for 3, but Orlando Peters has been able to just recover quickly. So another over is completed, Mali. The score in the meantime goes up to
Cruising.
131. Should have that right. Or is it 129? 129? Yeah, I think it's 120.
Scoreboard saying 129. We'll go for that for now.
We go for that. 129 for 5. And
Just 12 runs to win now, Vern.
12 runs.
Looks like
Mali
they'll
does-
do this with balls to spare, which
Don't-
didn't look that way at the start of this innings.
Don't say just 12 runs, because we've seen stranger things happen.
We have, definitely. It's never a formality here. But like I was saying, wickets out for the Jennings Tigers here. And as we see, is it Jedediah Martin back on? A bit of a go-to man for Jennings. Young, talented player. All-rounder. Medium pace. Comes in, does a bit with the bat as well. Has good power. Good talent for a youngster. I'll be expecting a lot more. I know he's someone that works pretty hard at his game as well. So over the coming years, I'll be expecting quite a bit from this young guy.
So let me give you the bowling figure so far for Jennings Tigers. Kenroy Brown, 2 overs, no maidens, 23 runs, 1 wicket. Then we have Paul Miller, 2 overs, no maidens, 35 runs, 1 wicket. Morton Brown, 3 overs, no maidens, 29 runs. We come back to that. He's picked up 3 wickets. Martin in out the bowl to Allen. Allen is driving. Somebody could be in trouble here, but the ricochet from Allen's, I'm trying to cut that one off, which was driven straight into the onside. They've been able to pick up a single. Nicholas Tappin, he was expensive, Mali. His over cost 20.
Yeah,
That
I
was
mean,
the difference.
it's a tough game for bowlers, you know. It's definitely a tough format for bowlers. You know, they say it's a batsman's game. Everything in the favor, pretty much, of a batter in this format. So, I mean, yes, you expect big overs, but you just also expect at times the bowlers to show that necessary skill.
130 goes to 131 as Descarte is pushing. He goes to get 2 more. Shaim Africa coming off of the boundary, sweeping. Good powerful return back to Martin. Stung his hand for a little while. And then meanwhile, the score goes up to 132 for 5.
I mean, we were speaking a bit off here during the Jennings innings, and I remember Jack saying that he thought that they didn't really have enough, considering the way the scoring rate fell away when Muncie was dismissed. And he's been proven right thus far here, looking like they're going to win this game with balls to spare.
You can't have those sort of stats and don't get 180, 190. And that's why I feel that Muncie should have batted as deep as possible. That's why I still feel that Shane Burton, and he batted deep. Here is Descarte driving again through cover. Africa coming around like a 400-meter runner.
But
He can't save it for more. That's a lovely shot. Big effort there from Jaime Africa. Flagman picks up the ball and just lobs it to Muncie. This game could be over in this over.
And it's been a hallmark of this innings of 43 from Descarte. When presented with width, he's found that extra cover gap with serious power as well to beat the sweeper on the cover boundary. Very good batting from Descarte.
He's somebody had some potential for in 2019. Here is this one peeling off down to the boundary for 4.
Just want to win now.
They just need 1 to win. He's 47, 140 for 5.
Wow.
If he gets a half century, it'll be a very well deserved half century.
Especially with 14, if you think of that, 14 legal deliveries left in this match. It's been a serious
Onslaught.
serious chase. Serious onslaught, like you say, from this Rising Sun Spartans team, and they'd fully deserve to get the third place here.
Jennings was never in this contest. Never in this contest. They were just really just blown away. Descartes, 47, 18 balls, 31 minutes, 4 fours and 3 INET maximums. He waits for Martin, 140 for 5. Martin into Descartes. Descartes driving, victory for right. No, he says no.
Not quite.
So he wants the half century. Interesting.
Yeah.
Don't give him wrong. He deserves that.
It'll be a fantastic way for him to end his tournament as well. You know,
Don't give him wrong. Don't give him wrong at all. He wants that half century. Could mean a whole lot. Could land him maybe a CPL contract. You never know.
Depends on who's watching, eh?
Depends on who is looking. The voice of Mally Richards can send him a CPL contract. Here goes Martin. In now. The ball to Descartes. He's driving down the ground for 4. Beautifully. 50 to the young man. And victory to Rising Sun Spartan. Finishing third in this competition. What a knock by the young man. 51 not out. That's a splendid knock here so far by him.
Pretty comprehensive victory all around by the Rising Sun Spartans. There was a stage when Muncie and Thomas and Peters were going where it looked like they'd be chasing a pretty huge total, but when Muncie went, everything almost just fell away, and only managing to post 142 for this Rising Sun Spartans team to get, and it's been a comprehensive victory. The way this top 3 in particular, Burton, Descartes, have gone about it. They fully deserved this third place win.
So Rising Sun Spartan, they restricted the Jennings Tigers to 140 Mali, as you call it right. 140 in their innings for 5. Of their 12 overs, really like a sort of game on. Muncie got 55, Orlando Peters 28, and Martin 22. Nobody has really came up with anything as special. But when you look at their innings, you'd have seen 7 fours. They would have had 7 fours, Mali, during that time, and 10 INET maximums. Now, when you follow through, Mali, and you look at the Rising Sun Spartans, they would have lost their first wicket, 1 for 9, Gian Benjamin, 2 for 41, Junior Henry, 3 for 91, Shane Burton, 4 for 91, Jacqueline Hewlett, 5 for 93, Andrew Edwards, and then it was the Descartes show.
Yeah, definitely.
Really the Descartes show.
He's come and finished this game beautifully, showed fantastic power, great technique, great timing. He's finished his tournament on a high, definitely.
51 off 20 balls, Mali. He had 5 fours and 3 INET maximums. So you'll understand in terms of what's going on. So they had 18 boundaries in their innings and 8 INET maximums. So today alone, Mali, there were 18 INET maximums.
Yeah, and what we saw as well from the Tigers is them just not being able to call on an Orlando Peters to bowl, some critical overs here today. With his experience, he could have made a massive difference in the game, but unfortunately he was just carrying an injury and not being able to bowl.
So we look at the man of the match, and if we maybe go through it, Descartes certainly will pick this one up with his 51 not out. 2 overs, no maidens, 34 runs, 1 wicket. And when I saw him in 2019, Mali, he's somebody that I've always been paying attention to.
Right.
Shadrach Descartes. But he started slowly in this tournament. But this innings here alone, he really looked in control. We see the 2 captains already out for the second game, Mali. And the 2 Leeward Islands players would have played for the West Indies. One is a test player, one is a white ball player. They both have captained the Leeward Island team. They've captained their community teams and also captained the Leeward Islands team also. Raheem Cornwall and Devon Thomas. Two young guys who would have come to the St. Kitts Nevis 13 and under competition. I can remember Devon Thomas scoring 100 in that competition at age 11. Kyron Powell scoring 100 at age 9. Craig Bratwitt scoring 100 at age 10. I mean, that competition, Mali, served up real interest, not only for West Indies cricket, but we've seen a number of test players, including Shamara Brooks and company, who would have come through that tournament. Now we have two of the biggest stars in Antigua and Barbuda, two of the biggest captains on show tonight, and something tells me, Mali, and Terry Laraja and Jack Matthew, this is Devon Thomas's night.
Well, you would know better than me, wouldn't you? You're a betting man. Yeah, I mean, based on what we've seen in this tournament, it's definitely he's due a few. So
I don't have anything down, Terry.
What better than a final?
I'm just checking.
To actually for him to actually come to the party.
I don't have anything down, Terry. But Mali, just before you, because we're gonna start and then we're gonna give way for Jack and Terry to start the ball, because I really want to enjoy this final here tonight. I'll come back when things get a little bit more dicey and sweet. In fact, no, Jack, you and Terry will start, so you will give us a chance. Get yourself prepared. I'm just gonna line up something here. Don't go yet, Mali. In 2019, the first semi-final, it was Rising Suns Empire Nation. Rising Suns were dismissed for 118. In reply, Empire Nation reached 122
when
for 6.
was this? Sorry.
2019.
Okay.
2019. Way back when.
Right.
Then we would have had the second semi-final, which was PIC Insurance Liberta Blackhawks against New Winthrops. PIC Liberta Blackhawks, they scored 211 for 8. Darren Cruikshan's top scored with 62. Kofi James 33. Wilden Cornwall, who is a coach now, senior, 27. For New Winthrops, Otis Thomas 3 for 37. Nino Henry 3 for 47. Xavier Otter 1 for 24. Orlando Boston 1 for 37. In reply, New Winthrops reached 171 for 9. Sylvester Joseph, playing his last game in 2019, he scored 58, 28 balls, 32 minutes, 5 fours, 4 sixes. Jamal Fernandez 38. Bowling for Alberta, Darren Cruikshan 4 for 22 and Karim Phillip 3 for 30. Then it got down to the final, where you would have had a situation. In fact, you would have had the third and fourth place game. Rising Suns also played for the third and fourth place game during that time. New Winthrops Lion won that game. In fact, Rising Sun Spartans, they scored 112 for 9. New Winthrops in that game, they got 115 for 3. Kemal Lois, who is now playing in the USA and played for the Jamaica Tallawahs, he played for New Winthrops Lion. He scored 59, 37 balls, 42 minutes. We come down to the final, Mali, and I know you would have remembered this. PIC Liberta Blackhawks against Empire Nation, and that's when we had the rain. PIC Liberta Blackhawks, they reached 131 in a rain interruption game of 14 overs. Kofi James in that game, 81, 52 balls, 55 minutes. Darren Cruikshan, 39. Krishma Santoki for Empire Nation, 1 for 21. Curl Simon, 1 for 33. In reply, because of the rain breaks, Empire Nation could only muster 96 for 6 off their 14 overs. Clayton Payne, 34. Damian Lowfield, 23. For Liberta, Wilden Cornwall 18, Raheem Cornwall 2 for 20, Karim Phillip 1 for 23. PIC Liberta Blackhawks, they won by 60 runs under the Duckworth-Lewis system. We see a situation here where the groundsmen are just bringing on the covers on the side, just to be, as we would say, on the safe side, and to just make sure that everything is okay. And anytime soon here, Mali, you got the teams, or Terry's got the teams? So Terry is got the teams. Jack, you can get yourself organized, Jack. I know you haven't found your goat waters yet, but I'll go searching for the goat water for you and Mali, so you guys can be okay. I think it's coming from Bolands, so I'll try and see if I can fetch it a little bit faster. But Terry, in the meantime, while Jack gets himself organized, you can just give us the teams for today, as Jack would bear himself out. So just to let you know that Rising Sun Spartans, they were eventually crowned placed third in this competition after placing fourth in the 2019 competition. They finished this competition as the third place team, the best third place team. So you really can't complain in terms of what's happening happening. Shadrach Descartes, 51 not out. It was indeed a lovely knock. Terry, what you got for us here?
Yes, good evening, everybody, for this final. And I can tell you that PIC Liberta Blackhawks have won the toss and they will be batting first. And they line up tonight: Rakim Cornwall, captain, Coffee James, Yuri Smith, Karima Gore, Kadeem Phillip, Amal Nathaniel, Terence Ward, Hayden Walsh Jr., Joshua Thomas, and Avia Christian. And the lineup for CUB Golden Eagles Bethesda: Devon Thomas, captain, Darren Benta, Anthony Martin, Naeem Young, Jamal Fernandez, Atush Kinjigi, Shinhad Madani, Calvin Pittman, Timo Thomas, Kamari Clark, Gavin Tong. That's interesting. He looked like he might have pulled up a bit sore the other night. But good evening, Jack Matthew.
Good evening to you, Terry, and good evening to all our listeners and viewers. We expect some fireworks tonight, some explosion tonight in this Cool and Smooth T20 explosion final. And definitely the favorites are PIC Liberta Blackhawks. They've played some wonderful cricket already. They come in with an unbeaten record, and they have some power hitters in that lineup. And they're going to bat first. So they're looking to continue the trend of compiling the runs in swashbuckling fashion and then put pressure on the opposition chasing. So we intend to see some exciting cricket this evening between the two sides. Bethesda Golden Eagles, they just keep rising. We thought they were out of it. They managed to reach the semi-finals, and then we thought they were very much out of it in that semi-final match, but they kept rising from the and so they may be able to provide it. The big players have to come to the party. Devon Thomas is certainly one of them, and once they come to the party, perhaps they'll be able to give the opposition a stir. And who knows, we're talking about a game of cricket which can go either way, any time. And so we expect some real exciting cricket tonight. But I think the majority will be saying Blackhawks all the way, Blackhawks all the way. It's a final, I think, that they will have to lose, and they have to come and bat indifferently. When I say indifferently, to the way we have seen them so far in the competition, and of course bowled indifferently as well, because they really performed splendidly with bat and ball, and we expect more of the same tonight.
Yes, most definitely. And what sort of plan do you think Bethesda Golden Eagles will have, Jack? I think they'll be disappointed that they're in losing the toss, because I have a feeling that they also would have batted first and try and put Liberta Blackhawks under pressure. Liberta have batted first in every match, and especially the opening pair with Yuri Smith and Coffee James. Coffee James, one of the leading run scorers of the tournament, and Yuri Smith right up there as well. But they have a great understanding, and they seem to, so far in the tournament, have got the Blackhawks off to some very, very decent starts. So how will Bethesda approach this now?
Well, I think they'll try for containment first off, and look to limit the opening batters, and at the same time they'll be hoping that they'll be able to get some early wickets. To stop them would be to get early wickets, put Liberta on the pressure, because if they're going to find these two free scoring openers get off and just keep going, it simply means that the platform would have been made, and the likes of Karima Gore, Rakim Cornwall, etc. to come would certainly build on that platform, and the game would virtually be out of their hands at that particular phase. So they will look for containment, try to get some wickets. In terms of what strategy they're going to implement in terms of matchups, that's for us to wait and see how they're going to do that in terms of matchups. But I think that will be the overall plan, to try and bowl tidily, to try and bowl as tight as possible, and keep the batters on the pressure, and try and hope that they'll be able to get early inroads.
Yeah, very true. And Devon Thomas, a lot of talk about Devon Thomas. He hasn't performed so far. Is this his night? We saw him yesterday or in the semi-final match that he looked like he was setting himself. He opened the innings to bat the whole 20 overs, then threw it away once again. Cannot afford that to do that. Do something similar tonight, John.
Yes, and we will await the start of the final. The situation where the players are warming up and they're looking to be as sharp as possible when the time comes in terms of Bethesda to take the field and for Liberta to start the ball rolling with the bat.
What happened, Vernon?
What we're gonna do, Jack and Terry, is we're gonna monitor to try to bring the third and fourth place game trophy presentation in terms of what's gonna be going on. So we'll join the folks upstairs. So just wait for a little while. So we have the clearance now.
Okay, welcome back to Coolidge Cricket Ground for the final of the Cool and Smooth T20 Explosion for 2022 between the Liberta Blackhawks and the Bethesda Golden Eagles. It should be a cracker of a match. We just had the presentation for third place, which went to Rising Sun Spartans, and I'll be very happy with that. They beat Jennings Tigers by 5 wickets, chased down 140 in a rain-reduced 12 overs a side match, as rain interfered with play earlier today. But thankfully, the good news here from Coolidge is that it's all clear at this moment in time, and the PIC Blackhawks, Liberta Blackhawks, led by Rakim Jimbo Cornwall, have won the toss, and they have elected to bat first in this final. Winner takes all, 22,000 up for grabs for the winner this year. Compliments of Cool and Smooth, fantastic tournament that's been going for some 13 years now, and this final should be no exception to any other that we've had. It should be a great contest, as Jack Matthew was saying earlier. Bethesda Golden Eagles, throughout the tournament, they just seem to be getting better and better and better, building momentum, and with the likes of Anthony Iroots Martin, Devon Thomas leading the way, Darren Benter. Do they have the goods? I'm sure they think they have the goods to upset the defending champions in Liberta Blackhawks. Of course, they are undefeated, so it's not going to be any easy feat, Jack.
Not an easy feat at all for the Eagles to overcome the Hawks tonight. They will have to perform considerably better than what we have seen so far. They will have to bring their A game to the party tonight. The stars of their team will have to really perform exceptionally well, and they will have to hope that the Blackhawks do not have the game that they have produced so far during the course of the competition, and the play that we have come accustomed to in terms of what they have been able to exhibit in the past. So they'll be looking for those factors, that they will come to the party, and that it will not be a typical night for the Blackhawks. And so with a combination of those factors, they'll probably have a chance of clinching it tonight. But it's going to take a lot of doing.
A lot of doing, most definitely. And the biggest challenge, I think, is in the bowling department. Do they have the bowlers that can restrict Liberta to something that they can chase? I think that is where they really have to concentrate. Kinjigi, the spinner, bowled very well the other night. He would need to back up that performance once again. A lot of responsibility will be on the very experienced former West Indies player in Anthony Martin, and also the young Naeem Young, who's a promise and looks like he's ready now to take the next step up to international level. So keep your eye on those three, especially during this Liberta innings, as they will be batting first. But that opening pair for Liberta, if they get away, Jack, it could be a very early night for Bethesda.
Talking about Bethesda, just before we look at the openers, Gavin Tong, the former West Indies Test player, is also in the lineup. He suffered a hamstring injury, and he's in the lineup. Mainly, I don't know if he'll be able to bowl and what sort of condition he would be in to bowl in the final. So we'll just have to wait and see there. But his work with the ball would have happens there. If he will not bowl at all, he's picked primarily to bat. And even that could be faced with an impediment, because you know that T20 cricket requires a lot of running, and no matter how much massage he had, no matter how much medication that he had, it was very, very difficult in 24 hours to come back and really sprinting after suffering a hamstring injury. So it's going to be a very challenging situation, I think, for Gavin Tong here tonight.
Most definitely a big call to place somebody who is carrying an injury into a big match like this, and it doesn't get any bigger. The big final of the Cool and Smooth T20 Explosion for 2022, coming to you live from the Coolidge Cricket Ground. And this coverage is made possible by the CSN Community Sports Network, a subsidiary of the Parish League, with studio located on High Street. Live matches can be viewed on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and CTV Channel 8, along with live studio shows. Follow the network for your live local sporting app. And we're almost ready here, as players have taken the field. And of course it will be Yuri Smith and Coffee James out in the middle to start proceedings for the Liberta Blackhawks. And it looks like they're gonna Bethesda gonna start with Kinjigi, and a look at it, spin from the northern end. He bowled very well last night in a match that they were gone for all money at one stage, Jack. and got home by a run to make it to the final tonight. So we're all set for action. Over to you, Jack.
So it will be the left arm spinner, Kenjigi, who will bowl to the right-handed Yuri Smith. The first ball of the final. And he's looking to punch it off the back foot there. Doesn't time it. The ball hits the inner part of the bat and goes out towards a short mid-wicket position. So Kenjigi, a dot ball. He begins with his bowling left arm around the wicket. Goes past umpire Leslie Riffer Jr. and delivers. And Yuri Smith is pushing into the offside. Again a dot ball. The fielder comes around from the extra cover position to pick the ball up. And the score remains on naught for no wicket. We have had 2 balls in the Cool and Smooth T20 Explosion final here at the Coolidge Cricket Grounds. And Kenjigi is in once more. The reverse sweep attempted, and he tries to hit it away towards the square position on the offside. It has gone beyond the wicket keeper, and we look and see there is a signal of run. So he got a bit of bat onto that, trying the reverse sweep very, very rarely. Got the desired result in terms of a boundary, but certainly not where he intended to hit that.
Not where he intended to hit it at all, Jack, but 4 runs is 4 runs. They're on the board, 4 without loss, and very interesting